Welcome everyone. Have you noticed that over the last 20 years in America has been so unaffordable that people can barely even keep up to pay their bills? Why it became so unaffordable that people are starting to give up and they're losing their mind? I'll, I'll mention you some facts how people are so giving up into this economy, into this inflation. It is real. It is here in 2026. It became so unaffordable that so many things are so expensive that what people are making is just nothing compared to what they're paying. So people have stopped paying their bills in the United States. With the money that you pay here, you could be living like a king in Thailand, Indonesia, the Philippines, uh, any place in Asia, especially India. Everything is so affordable, so cheap in those countries, especially Asia and some parts like South America. Uh, so why is this that it became so unaffordable? So what is happening is the greedy world, the system, the society, the CEOs. First of all, you were not born just to work like a slave. You're slaving your life away. You've been programmed to believe that you have to work your whole life until you die. Second of all, they program you kind of have to believe in this American dream and this retirement until you're 65 so you can get your first paycheck. But what if you get a stroke tomorrow? Not only that, don't even get me started. What if you become homeless because you lose your job? You got so many bills to pay and you can't get hired anywhere because you've been fired, which they call a layoff. It's been over 8 million people this year that does not have a job in the United States. And if you try to go anywhere off the grid, they call it invasion for any property where you're trying to set your RV, your mobile home. So you ended up going to the storage unit to leave. But when you go underneath the bridge, they call it a crime if you become homeless. So in other words, you got nowhere to go but the jail. It's so insane. You got to freeze or go to jail. This is how they want you to be in a way that we're being so programmed that we have to, even college, you have to get a student loan. In order for you to pay that student loan, it's going to take you up to 20 years. So you'll be 40 by then. So food, it's insanely nuts. I mean, it's so skyrocketing that a single family spends up to $800 a month on groceries. Rent just went high this year, and then utilities, it's skyrocketing. So how can we actually afford to pay? How can we afford to live in the United States? How can we save money? How can we actually keep up with this system that is constantly just keep skyrocketing and they're rising the prices, especially now that we're dealing with gas prices? It seems like they're not stopping. This morning I was driving by and I saw a few other cents a little bit higher, which means this summer we're gonna go up to $8 a gallon. It went up about $100 a barrel of oil, which means things are not really things are not smooth anymore. Things are not. This thing is gonna get pretty worse because the war is costing $889 million a day. So where is the American dream? They program you to live on the rat race, the 9 to 5. You ain't got no time to think about anything. Get home, you're wasted. You drive in the morning to work. People are cranky. People are mad, sad, angry, grumpy, you name it. You get a little bit late. Your boss is mad. You're about to get fired. You work 40, 50, 60 hours a week. You're a slave. You barely have Saturday off, and then they ask you to work, and then you got Sunday off, which the day goes by in a blink of an eye. So what kind of life is that? I started to believe that we've been brainwashed, that we have to work, that we have to get along, that we have to just be slaves. The 40 hours, the 9 to 5, the rat race, the American dream. Nobody told you at school how to actually make real money, how to actually work with money, how to be an investor, how to be buying land, houses, properties, you name it. It seems like everything is just everybody's programmed to believe the same thing. So you cannot be smarter than the system. So there's so many other things that I would like to go over it, but it's just unreal. The cost of living in America is making people want to give up. People have stopped paying their bills. People have stopped paying all their utilities, their mortgage, their rent, their credit card. That's another thing. Your credit card, man, go right ahead and pay it off. Pay it off, man. Go right ahead and get rid of it, man. You're paying all this interest for the bank. You're making the bank richer, 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 while you're going sink into a hole. You're just getting poorer, poorer, poorer. And I mean, it's just like, I'm telling you, the way we're heading right now, it isn't simple at all. It is so unaffordable. No matter what you do, it's just so unaffordable. Everything. I'm talking about general. I think we're even paying for the air that we breathe because the cost of living here is so unaffordable that we cannot afford to live paying 20 to 30 to 50 bills a month. How many of you are paying so many goddamn bills? People are this close to go homeless. People don't know what to do. They want to go off the grid. They're living in the storage unit. They're living in their van. They're living in their vehicle because you cannot longer pay a two, three, $4,000 apartment. It is insane the way we live. And if you're 20 and if you're 30, they want you to work, work, work till you're 40, 50, 60, and then you'll be tired. And then you're gonna end it up, if you have money, in a senior home. And then you'll be completely abandoned. This is Life isn't supposed to just work your whole life and just be slave and this paying all these mortgages, this rent, these utilities, these groceries, and get along here and there. It's just like we've been programmed to believe that, we're being brainwashed to believe that. But how many times somebody have told you to become your own boss, to be your own brand, to become rich, to be powerful, to be millionaire? No one has taught you that, which means the system doesn't want you to be rich. So everybody's giving up. People are starting to give up. They're not paying their bills. They're going homeless. People start lose their jobs, their house, their car. People have started taking off. They're going to Philippines. They're going to Italy, any other place in the world that is cheaper and affordable, especially Philippines, Thailand, Indonesia, uh, Vietnam, and many other countries in Asia. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. You all take care. God bless.